etc. And so I thought maybe that this would be an excellent opportunity to talk to you about the various stages of the African American experience. That is, how African American music developed from the continent of Africa, and indeed how it spread throughout the world.
Yes. Yes, Dr. Haney, it's great to be back. And I would like to introduce myself. My name is Gregory Taylor from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And we have been discussing the music over the times that I've been here. And I'm a graduate of Selma University.
Very good.
And since I saw you last, I have become a member of the Civilian Conservation Corps Legacy Membership. And those men's wishes are to be remembered in song down on the Bicentennial Mall. And so so many things I saw bringing together the music that is just absolutely incredible. But one of the things that we have completed is what I call a pipeline from West Africa. And in this pipeline, one of the sons of Africa have shared with me how the music was sang as they were coming into the transatlantic slave trade, you know. And coming into the transatlantic slave trade, the only thing that lasted, as Dr. Y.T. Walker said, was the rhythm in the music.
And so in a real sense, Mr. Taylor, I think we're saying here that when we look back on the continent of Africa, the Africans who came by way of the Middle Passage brought with them their musical experiences, and speak to that. I mean, what kind of music are we talking about when we deal with the African musical experience on the continent of Africa?
I understand that in Africa, everything, every day is done by music, you know, and that there was war music, you know, they used war music in the area of war. And when the music was, as they sang coming into slavery, it was unknown as to where they were coming from, going to, but they have been taught the memories of these songs in Africa. And there is different, you know, tribes that sing different things. They have different drum beats in Africa than what they have in other parts of America, the African American music. And it is basically those things, but what is most interesting is coming into the transatlantic slave trade and how horrible and difficult that was. But the only thing that lasts, again, was the rhythm. And when Booker T. Washington came back from Africa to America, he said that the children of Africa in the southern plantations have a note of sorrow in their music that you don't find in other African American music in the country of America. And
no, go on. And this is the great Booker T. Washington, founder of Tuskegee, Alabama. I mean, Institute in Alabama, the school that you probably know well. But go on and speak it.
Okay, and he said that the children in the southern states, we have a note of sorrow in our music, and it's really not understood in a lot of other African American communities in America, and it's one of the reasons for conflict in terms of music. Even here today in the area of music, you have disconnects where if they could bring the music together, it would do so much to help heal the country. One of the radio hosts at WHBB, Randy Williams, he said that if the African American community respected the power in their music, it would do a lot to do away with the violence that is going on today. And in the church that I came up in Alabama, we were taught the old spirituals before we got the scriptures. And this way it would always stay with you and that type of thing.
You learn the scriptures through music, through song in a real sense.
Yes, we were, this is where Dr. Harvey, Otis Harvey would say, the old songs were born in the hearts of our ancestors in the fields, and they are our anchor in America, and the means by which our ancestry passes from one generation to the next.
And so what we're going to do, Minister Taylor, is to take our first commercial break, and then we'll come back and we'll give you an opportunity to talk about the African music as it will now appear in the New World. And of course, we'll be back with our audience following this very, very short commercial break. about it.
Okay.
You know, because I'm gonna be over here, and I hate to be throwing that trash in the audio.
Yeah.
But
I got you. I was wondering about that.
No,
I started to ask you if I was speaking loud enough.
No, you're not speaking. You weren't speaking loud. Speak it up. Speak out to it. Okay, and I'm gonna. Let me set the tone for when to come back.
We passed the...
No, this is 6 minutes, and now we're getting into commercial. And then when I come back, this is 8 minutes.
Okay, now will this be the transatlantic? No, we are in America now.
Yeah, in America.
Okay, slavery.
Slavery,
okay.
Okay.
Slavery, okay.
Now I'm going to set the tone in terms of how I want you to speak and the
I got you.
Sound,
okay.
You know.
I got you.
Because it's excellent information, but you seem to be holding it back and whispering to me, and I said, I don't know. But,
it's been a long time.
You're doing excellent. You're doing excellent. Because you got information. See, that's all it takes. You got information.
Yes.
So if you don't have any information, then it's a real problem.
That's right.
But I know you've got information because we've had you so many times before, and you're talking about it now. But I want you to sort of raise that level.
Yeah, this is the area which I'm most acquainted with.
Yeah. See, I've got 30 seconds.
Okay.
Thank you, and welcome back to the second segment of the show for today. We're talking to Minister Gregory Taylor, and he's given us some information in reference to the stages of African-American music. That is, African-American music from the continent of Africa. And in a real sense, I think, as you've already demonstrated, Minister Taylor, African-American music will eventually go all around the world. And so let's pick up from where we left off and give you an opportunity to talk about it at where you wish to start.
Sure. Now I can pick up in the area of the Deep South. And in the Deep South, as I had said about Booker T. Washington and the late Dr. Owens Harvey, who said, the old spirituals, this is very important, the old spirituals were born in the hearts of our ancestors in the fields. And in the Caribbean, they even referenced to the fact that they knew when they got out of slavery that they didn't have health care or anything like that, but their medicine was in the music. And that's the same thing here in America. And in the area which I came up in, we were taught to always stay near the church where the old songs are sang, because they are our anchor and they're the means by which our ancestry passed from one generation to the next. And the church was like our musical hospital. The first civil rights movement actually took place in Mississippi in a music studio. It wasn't the one that people think it actually was. And I recall when they rewrote the songs in the 60s and went into the streets and sang them. When they come back, Dr. Haney, they were not the same singers they left as. These are key points, and it's very important in order for us to bring the music back that will help heal the country. And one of the professors at Emory University has said, after studying all the families around the world, he concluded that the healing of the American family will start with the point of the old spirituals. And the maestro here, I heard him say in a chemistry class at Vanderbilt University that there's a composer who wrote that one day music will play a great role in saving the world. I believe that we are in that day today. And I've kept my music pure. I'm probably the purest person in America when it comes to music. And this past Sunday, I actually decided to only go to Sunday school because I don't want to see, for me to make my music pure, to mix it up, that's lose money, you know. And so
when you say that you kept your music pure,
yes,
it means that you don't mix music that you use in Sunday school,
church,
with church music or worship music.
Right. No. I don't mix it. And one of the other things that have taken place here, the old songs which are born in the hearts of our ancestors in the fields, that was when the European American owned the field. And now I've connected the old songs to a fourth generation farm, you know, in reference to the fact of mentioning to you that we discovered that have inherited a farm in Alabama. So what you have here, that's the heart of the America the country is the
that's
farm
the land
and the music.
Yes, that's
you know,
the land
that
and
was
the
born
music.
out of the land. Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and one of the other things we have got to go back and do, we have got to look at the side effects of the music from the 60s, and see, like a lot of African Americans have OD'd on the MLK dream and the freedom song, suffering from mental indigestion of the 60s. You can't sing. Well, you can't sing nothing but freedom songs and protest music, you know. And these are things we have got to discuss. And you know, Dr. Haney, I believe today we have got to do more discussing music rather than singing music.
Well, I think that's what we're trying to do here now, Minister. That is to talk about the music that you know, and the music that we've used for all kinds of purposes. I think you've indicated that music was used in the civil rights movement. It was a way that we protested. But we also know that music was also an element of entertainment.
Yes,
when
that's right.
we talk about slavery and musicals, the African musical tradition during that period, how did Africans express themselves in music on plantations?
Well, one of the excellent examples of that is about 2005. Oprah Winfrey had a gala, and she had all of those singers to come together. Maria Shriver, one of the ABC News persons, and they were all singing what I call the modern entertainment type hymns and spirituals. And you had the young singers there, and they were just amazed because they had never seen this aspect of our heritage people. Everybody was amazed, but one of the key things, and I think Sidney Poitier said this, that it was so spontaneous. You know, you can't control it. And in the spontaneity of the music is what makes it what it is. And what I remember was the singer named, I believe, Alicia Keys. She actually caught the spirit of the music. She said, this is something that we have got to keep going. And see, I understand that, Dr. Haney, and that means that the music is not taught, it is caught. And by me keeping mine pure, I'm able to go back and connect the music. And the only thing that I can show you what I mean here is when money when writing was added to money, it never separated, you know.
What do you mean when people started to write songs for money?
No. This is way back there. When money was first, writing was first added to money, it never separated, you know. And so I keep in my music pure because I know there's medicine in it. It is needed today to help heal. And Dr. Bradley's music was used in the 60s to diffuse racial tension, you know, across the country. And then that mentioned about President Reagan's funeral music. All of those hymns in President Reagan's funeral music, I grew up on them, every one of them, you know.
As a matter of fact, when you talk about Dr. Bradley, I think you're speaking of one of the great pioneers in reference to African-American music, spiritual music, and et cetera. So what we would like for you to do, Minister Taylor, when we come back is for you to devote some time in terms of this great pioneer, because I think that most of the music that we hear today, spiritual music and et cetera, will come primarily out of some of the things that Dr. Bradley did, and and the most important thing, I think he lived in Nashville, Tennessee. Is that right?
Yes,
and
born in Memphis.
Okay, so we've got about a minute, and then we want you to start talking about some information in reference to that experience, and then when we take our second commercial break. But I think that some of the information that you're giving now is excellent, and I think it's the kind of information that we want to use, but we want to wrap it around an individual that you believe. I know because we've had conversations in reference to Dr. Bradley before. As a matter of fact, I think you gave me a book dealing with Dr. Bradley, and so I know that you've got a lot of information in reference to it. And so when we come back, then